Alright, so I bought the cheapest lip I could find for my G82 M4 on eBay, and as you can see here, it is not real carbon fiber. It is some kind of plastic that is dipped in something to somewhat resemble carbon fiber. If we bring it over here to the mirror cap, we can tell that it's definitely not carbon fiber. Kind of looks like it from a distance maybe, which hopefully if we put it down here you won't really be able to tell too much. This lip cost about $200 and was much cheaper than the other options, ranging from $1,000 all the way up to nearly $3,000. Here's a before picture, and also you can tell that I have it up on blocks here to help with the ease of the installation. So the first thing I had to do when I got this lip was actually drill out all the spots where these bolts went in. So there's actually a little divot in each one of these spots for a hole, but there's no holes actually drilled into the lip. So that was the first thing I had to do. Then I realized that the bolts that came on the car were not long enough to fit through the new lip. So I had to buy these ones here, which are 4x8 by 25. You can see here that they are a little bit longer, and that allows it to grab onto the undercarriage of the car through this new lip. You can see here that the lip is a little bit thicker, so that's why we need those longer bolts there. You can also see how poorly this was really made. You can see how bad the hydro dipping on the backside of this really looks from this angle, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. The first thing I'm going to do is remove the 10 8mm hex bolts that hold on the undercarriage to the bottom of the front bumper. These are all 8mm, and there's 10 of them. The next thing I'm going to do is dry fit the lip to the front of the bumper, starting with these corner pieces. Now these corner pieces are just supposed to snap in on the side, and it has two bolts that come in from the bottom. But as you'll see here in a little bit, I have to use some double-sided tape to make sure that they really stick to the bumper without having too much of a gap. So here we get our first look at the lip on the car, and it looks decent from a distance, but when you get up close there are more gaps. So we got the right side on, and then we're going to move over and do the same thing to the left corner side now. Now that we have gotten both corner pieces on, I go and try to get the center piece lined up and screw that in. And then this way we get our first full look at the lip on the car, but we still need to do some fine adjustments and end up using some double-sided tape to get it looking a little bit better. So this is the problem here. Probably need some double-sided tape in here because this is loose and it's hard to get it to line up just right. Really needs to be, this corner piece needs to be like that, but then there's kind of a little gap here. Kind of the same over here, just need to come up. As you can kind of see here before I take the piece out of frame, it came with some double-sided 3M tape that fits nicely into a groove on the top of this corner piece. So I put that on there, peeled off the backing, and stuck this onto the car, which did make it fit a lot better. I found that this part lined up best if I put a little bit of pressure on it with my left hand and then screwed it in from the bottom with the impact there.
I'll show that. What are you doing?
What does it look like you're doing?
Lip thing
A lip. The lid. The lip.
The lid. The lid. The lid. The lid.
After that welcome interruption, we finished up by putting the left corner piece on with some double-sided tape, securing it in from the bottom with the two bolts, and then we tightened up all the bolts going across the middle section also. And then we can finally get our first full look at the lip on the car. From back here, it doesn't look horrible, I suppose. The closer we get, the worse it gets. That doesn't really line up. That doesn't really line up. I looked at this car with the lip on it, the more I actually liked it. So I ended up leaving this on the car, and it still is on the car to this day, and it's almost 6 months later. So I think that this was definitely worth the $200. Even if it doesn't line up perfectly, you can't really tell from a distance. And I still think it gives it a pretty nice look while not spending thousands of dollars. So I think overall it was worth it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thanks.